The XS125 packer is used by TMB personnel to compact the base and sub-base layers during resurfacing activities. Preparation before driving. Before driving the packer, ensure the cab doors and any compartments are closed and secure. After starting the engine, allow the engine to warm up with the joystick in park or neutral for approximately 5 minutes. Select the button on the button panel for working or transport mode. For short distance travel, select the transport mode. For compacting operations, select working mode. Do not activate the vibration of the drum while in transport mode. Rotate the steering wheel left and right one time to check steering system response. Driving of packer. There are two modes for the XS125. Working mode, with a speed range of 0.5 kilometers to 1.5 kilometers per hour. And transport mode, with a maximum speed range of 11 kilometers per hour. To move the packer forward, move the joystick from P to N to F. This will release the park brake and allow the packer to move forward. To drive backwards, move the joystick from P or N to R. When the joystick is returned to N, the parking brake will activate after 2 seconds. When the joystick is returned to P, the parking brake is activated immediately, and the engine will return to idle after 10 seconds. Under working mode, the speed limiting knob can control the speed within 0.5 kilometers per hour to limit the maximum speed of the packer. Under transport mode, the speed limiting knob can be used to control the speed of the packer. The speed of the packer is proportional to the joystick movement from the N position. The greater the movement, the higher the speed. During operation, check all indicators on the display screen for normal values. The hydraulic oil temperatures should not exceed 75 degrees C, 80 degrees C at most. The water temperature should not exceed 98 degrees C. If the water temperature exceeds 102 degrees C, immediately stop the engine and notify your supervisor. Notice, if the engine oil pressure, water temperature, or DEF warning is displayed, immediately stop the engine in a safe place and notify your supervisor. In the event of an emergency with a joystick malfunction or steering function, immediately use the emergency brake button to stop the machine and notify your supervisor. Drum vibration. The operator will need to select the work mode and the vibration amplitude and vibrating mode, either auto or manual. Press both buttons 2 and 3 to select large vibrating amplitude or buttons 4 and 3 for small vibrating amplitude. To select vibrating mode, press button 5. When the lower backlight of this button turns on, the packer is in manual vibration mode and the start and stop of the vibrating is controlled by the operator. In manual mode, the operator will press the green button on the joystick to start the vibrator and press it again to stop the vibrator. When the upper backlight of the button 5 is on, the packer is in automatic vibration mode and the start and stop of the vibrator is controlled by the traveling speed of the packer. The automatic vibrating speed can be set on the display panel. Notice, under automatic vibration mode, the speed is 0.5 kilometers per hour for first gear, 1 kilometer per hour for second gear, and 1.5 kilometer an hour for third gear. To avoid damage to the machine, do not operate with vibration when the packer is stationary or traveling at speed below 0.5 km per hour. Do not use vibration on solid ground like concrete, steel, or pavement. Be careful that the use of vibration does not create hazardous conditions for other personnel or to infrastructure. Emergency stop check. Run the engine at low idle and place the machine in neutral and the park brake applied. Push down the emergency stop button and the engine should stop automatically and the electrical power system will power off. If the unit does not shut down, apply a lockout tag and notify your supervisor immediately. Braking. Service brake. Park brake. To bring the packer to a controlled stop, the operator shall use the joystick. By moving the joystick from F to N or R to N in a controlled manner, the packer will slow down and stop. After reaching N, move the joystick to the P position and the parking brake will apply to prevent the packer from rolling on uneven ground. The park brake will also apply if the engine is stopped or the hydraulic oil pressure drops to zero. If the packer is parked on a slope, use tire chocks to secure the packer. Chocks shall also be used if the packer is being worked on or if there is any possibility that the packer will roll forward or backward. Emergency brake. In the event of an emergency, push down the emergency brake button to immediately apply the brake and stop the engine. Only use emergency brake button in the event of an emergency. Do not use the emergency brake button while driving at high speed. During braking, securely hold the steering wheel. After the machine has stopped completely, reset the emergency brake by lifting up on the emergency brake button. Stopping. Shift the joystick to N to stop the packer. Push the joystick outward to P to apply the park brake. Allow the packer to cool down for 5 minutes before pressing the engine stop button or rotate the ignition key counterclockwise to the off position.